Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Saturday morning practice. Look forward to spending the next hour and a half with you on what we call the Chi Therapy Boot Camp. So, for those of you who are new, we alternate every week. And this week, we're going to be focusing more on massage, Chi massage, starting with all these extremities going from the fingers to the toes, to the ears, to the top of the head, to the bottom of the feet, and so forth. And so let's get started. And I want you to first bring your mind and your body together by focusing first at the very bottom of your spine. Then I want you to move up the spine as if you're walking on your spine. And as you walk towards the top of the head, I want you to stretch the spine towards the ceiling. And then I want you to lean back the upper torso and then relax. I want you to open the shoulder and then relax. I want you to focus on your forehead. Lean back the forehead so the ears on top of the shoulder, and then focus on the chin, tuck in the chin slightly. And then I want you to bring up the left hand, examine the fingers and the joints. Then I want you to bring out the right hand, focus on the thumb, locate the piece of bone right here, the joint. And then I want you to very gently, you don't have to use much force, and just very gently massage the joints, one joint at a time, one finger at a time. And when you massage the joint, I want you to focus on the feeling of the joint. You massage the front, massage the left, back to the front, and then to the right. And after you finish one joint, I want you to move on to the next joint. After you finish one finger, I want you to move on to the next finger. One joint at a time, one finger at a time. Now, this is something that I would like you to develop into a habit. So, whenever you're free, watching TV, waiting for the doctors, whatever, waiting for the Zoom meeting to start, I want you to learn to massage your fingers. Not just for the fingers, there's actually a lot of health benefit for massaging all these extremities. Now, I want you to take the left thumb and then work on the right hand. Again, one finger at a time, one joint at a time. And so today, the word chi means no inflammation. That's how it's written in the old days. Whereas last week, the chi is written in a much more modern way, which is air combined with rice, if you know the Chinese characters. All right, so now we finished with the palm of the hand. We're going to flip it over and work on the back of the hand. Again, one finger at a time, one joint at a time. So in today's context, the word chi sometimes is translated into life energy. It's actually energy that travels through our body. This concept comes from the North Indians' ancient understanding of how, as a living being, in order to be healthy, we have to be in harmony not only with ourselves but with the universe. And this chi, this life energy, is considered the energy that is flowing through our body. And now we finish with joints. We're going to move on to the tip of the fingers. Again, starting with the back of the hand. So I want you to take the right hand, the thumb, and the index finger. And now I want you to squeeze the corners of the nail, one finger at a time. And then left fingers, thumb and the index, one finger at a time. Now I want you to take the right hand again, and then I want you to use the hand and just kind of pull on the finger, and then one finger at a time, one finger at a time, and then do the same thing on the other side. Now I want you to locate the center of your palm, and then imagine there's a circle around the center, and just kind of rub your palms together. And then I want you to put the right hand on top of the left hand, the palm touching the back of the hand, and squeeze the fingers and just kind of massage that, get the circulations going. And then I'll do the other hand, do the other side. Okay. All right. So now we're done with the back of the hand. We're going to work on the palm. And once again, we're going to come back to the tip. And this time, just massage the tip one finger at a time. So these places that I'm massaging, they're actually what consider what is called the energy points or trigger points. Okay, there are places where the ancient Chinese has discovered that if they were blocked, the qi cannot flow through them, and so we do this special kind of massage. Now we're going to do some finger work, and um, the Western scientists are starting to understand this qi and the conduit for the qi, and they identified what's called fascia, which comes from the Greek word myofascia, which basically means the connected tissue between the muscle. Now, that's a very limited view of connected tissue. The Chinese actually think of connected tissues as all through your body, right? Not just on between the muscle, but everything, right? Between blood vessel, between um, nerve endings, between the organs, and so forth. Okay, and so they believe that those are the important organ. In fact, when you think about it, the beginning of life, when the sperm meets the egg, all they have are the membrane, right? The connective tissue. And so it's through that membrane that they communicate and start the beginning of um, our existence. And so that continues. And then so the Western side start to understand that, well, maybe what they're talking about is really the cell to cell communication, which is not wrong. And so now one of the important membrane is the diaphragm. That's actually how we breathe. Is when we move the diaphragm, we expand the lung and collapse the lung. But the diaphragm connects with everything else. And so a big part of what we do here is to learn to do abdominal breathing, right? Abdominal breathing. And then even when we do the QiGong exercise, it really all comes from the diaphragm. The diaphragm is very important. The other membrane that is very important is the membrane between a left brain and a right brain. Now, I told you this before, and actually, many of you support me through this journey when my father was towards his end stage, suffering from dementia. You were with me. And so when I look back, uh, one of the things that I noticed is that when I look back now, that in the beginning of his illness, he was dropping things all the time, right? And so it turns out that one of the beginning of the dementia is in this when you lose these motor functions, these fingers. And so this next set exercise is all about the fingers. And then the other thing I noticed is that he's losing balance, right? Somehow the left brain and the right brains are not working well, and and then finally his entire personality changed, and that has to do with how one side of the brain is responsible for all your logics and the other side is responsible for all your emotions. And when we have a healthy brain, a we manage to balance the two. But as you suffer from dementia, it kind of all kind of mixed up into a soup, and that's why I noticed. So the next exercise really work with the fingers, work with one finger at a time, but also work with one hand at a time. All right. So this is a good set of exercise. So now what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the right hand first, one hand at a time. Then we're going to focus on one fingers at a time. So I want you to take the right thumb, fold it in to the center of the palm. Then I want you to take two fingers and fold it in. Now I want you to take the index finger and fold it in, and the pinkies folded in. Now remember the sequence, okay? Now go back to the left, the thumb, two fingers, index, and then the pinky, one fingers at a time. Now I want you to squeeze the fist as hard as you can. Now I want you to reverse the process back to the left, open it with the pinky, the index, two fingers, and the thumb. Back to the left, open it with the pinky, the index, two fingers, and the thumb. Then I want you to stretch that hand as hard as you can. That's the first time. The second time, back to the right, This time a little faster, okay? Thumb, two fingers, index, pinky. Thumb, two fingers, index, pinky. And then squeeze as hard as you can. Open it in the same sequence. Pinky, index, two fingers, thumb. Pink, pinky, index, two fingers, thumb. And then stretch those fingers as hard as you can. One last time, focus on the right. Remember the sequence now. Thumb, two fingers, index, pinky. Thumb, two fingers, index, pinky. One last time, squeeze as hard as you can. And then finally open it in the same sequence in reverse. Pinky, index, two fingers, thumb. Okay, pinky, index, two fingers, thumb. And then one last time, stretch as hard as you can. All right. So we're going to be doing this at least every other week. And you can do that on your own. All right. So, but if you don't remember the sequence, just go look at the recording. Okay. So it's recordings on YouTube and Facebook. All right. So this is for brain health. It's in this ancient technique. It um, I wish I know that's early. I didn't. I'm not sure it would help my dad, but it wouldn't hurt. Okay, and this is, I think it's important now. All right, I don't want to go through this again. I don't want to do this again with my mom. I don't want to go through this again with myself or with my wife. It's not a good thing. All right, so now we're going to do more finger work, and this time we focus on um, recovery from a stroke or um, reducing your chance of having a stroke. This is another ancient finger technique. So we're going to work on the fingers, the thumb and the index finger. We're going to squeeze as hard as you can. The thumb with the middle finger, we're going to squeeze as hard as we can. The thumb with the ring finger, squeeze, and then with the pinky, squeeze. All right, that's one. The other one is we put the thumb in the middle of the finger, wherever you're comfortable, squeeze, 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 and then squeeze. Okay. One last set of fingers. We're going to put the palm together, the fingers together. We're going to push. We hold the center of the palm together. Okay. We'll hold it together. And then we're going to bring down the hand. Bring down. Make sure you're holding the palm, the center of the palm to bring it down. And then bring it back up. All right. And then now we're going to do some tapping. So when I talk about chi massage, it's actually just the beginning. We're going to do massage, acupressure, tapping, scraping, right? Many different modalities. So now we're going to tap. We're going to tap the fingertip first. We're actually going to be tapping from the fingertips to the top, all through the body. All right. So now we're going to touch the fingertips. We're going to keep the fingers straight, and we're going to focus on the fingers. So we don't want our mind to drift away. Okay. Now get ready. We're going to tap 30 times. Get ready. Go. And then now we're going to cross the fingers, and we're going to tap that 30 times as well. And now we're going to start to tap some important energy points on the palm of your hand, starting with the pinky. This is the beginning of the energy line that we name after the heart. But in this case, heart meant the mind. The Chinese doesn't distinguish the two. And so we're going to start with the tip, come down, and then there's a midi part, right here. Same thing with the thumb, come down, there's a midi part. So we're going to touch that together, forming a V. Focus on this part right here. Going to tap that 30 times. Get ready, go. Okay, so I mentioned that this is the heart, but it's actually the mental part of the heart. And so in this case, it's really your cognitive health, right? Now, it turns out that the yang side, this is what we call yin, away from the sun, and then yang side is facing the sun, right? So the Chinese think of the energy flow in your body in these 12 energy lines, each one active for 2 hours to cover a 24-hour clock. So I mentioned this before, and I know that clock, and you can look up the clock And if you don't, you can ask me again in a group or what used to be called circle, and I'll show you the graph. And so the graph, and I like to think of it starting at 11 o'clock at night, and from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, and 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Okay, that is the liver and the gallbladder. Now that's very important. Together as a pair, basically allows you to have a blood transfusion for 4 hours. So you want to be sleeping that time. So I always try to sleep no later than 12. 11:30 is my optimal. All right. And so I want to be sleeping. So I remember that. Now, around, I believe around 5 to 7 is the large intestines. So you want to be up, and I like to do my bowel movement in the morning. Okay, that's my habit. And then the stomach is when you want to have your not only your breakfast, but the stomach is a yang energy line, and so you want to be up. You don't want to. I really don't like to sleep late. So for example, I don't have any class on Sunday morning, and but I still like to get up. I usually get up around 6, but then I know I sleep a little bit late, but it's very hard for me to sleep past 7 because my energy flow is such that when the sun is up, I like to be up. All right, and then there's one more thing, which is basically at around noontime is when the heart is active, and the heart is fire element, and that is when you want to take a nap. So after lunch, you take a nap. So this is how I work with the clock, right? This is how I maintain my harmony with the universe. All right. Okay. So now, as it turns out, this is the heart, and it's really the mind, right? The clarity on your mind. Now, there's a study that comes out that Parkinson and digestion, your intestinal health, is related, and the Chinese actually put the small intestines on the yang side, which is kind of interesting. All right, so they believe that the two are together. In other words, if you have good probiotic health in your small intestines, then it would help with your mind. All right, okay. All right, so now we're going to work on the yang side. So we take your hand, you fold it down, you see a line, right? At the edge of your palm, right here, is where we want to tap. So this time you want to kind of open up your palm flat, roll up your fingers as if you're making a fist, and I'm going to tap that 30 times for the small intestine. Okay. All right. So I talk about this side. Did we do this already? I forgot. So this is the let's just do that again. All right. So this is the small intestines and the heart. This is the lung. So let's put that together. And it seems like we haven't done that yet. So we're gonna tap that 30 times. Now, in the Chinese philosophy, this is the when they talk about lung, they're not just talking about the organ, they're talking about the entire energy system that they name after the lung. It's the mineral element. So when they talk about the lung, they're talking about taking the nutrient from the universe and distribute it. Mineral as in fertilizer, right? That's when you, and so interestingly, on the other side is the large intestine. It's the opposite of that. It's really the well, you're not just taking the nutrient into your body, but you're releasing the toxin. And so this is kind of interesting. So there's an energy point here, it's very important. It's called the merging valley. So if you put your fingers together, you see a bump. You open, you see a valley, right? So you take the where we were before, the small intestines, you put that on top of that valley. Now you got the small intestines facing the large intestine. Well, actually, you said, no, they're inside here. No, I'm talking about energy. All right. So get ready, go. And then the other way, go. Now, many of you knows that I like to go to Japan, mainly because I believe that Japan is the only place where you can find the Chinese culture back in the Tang Dynasty and back in the times when Zen Buddhism, or in the Chinese called Chan Buddhism, was a big part of our life. And so my YouTube channel subscribed to a lot of Japanese education channel. And recently, not so recently, a couple of weeks ago, they just have a report. And if you're interested, remind me now. Hopefully, I don't think I can give you the YouTube link. They will censor that, but I can at least give you the title and you can search for it. And they talk about a research institute in Japan now where they're focusing on fascia, right? I mentioned the fascia. So they identify these, they don't think of it as the way we do, but because they think of it from a Western medical perspective, and they locate these energy lines that are fascia, and they're basically focusing on pain. And they also identify this energy line. They don't call it the large intestine, but they identified the energy line that has a lot to do with reducing pain in your body. And when we talk about reducing pain, we're really talking about unblocking the chi. So when the chi is blocked, you have the body inflamed, and that's why you have pain. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this energy line that we name after the large intestines, which you should know because it's the energy point that help you reduce pain, but not only pain, but help you with high blood pressure. So coming back to this merging valley, so again, you open your fingers and you see this valley, you identify this edge, you take your right thumb, you identify this line, you put the line on top on this edge, and then you roll your thumb down, pressing down on this valley. But after you press it down, you lean towards the index finger, and you feel kind of numb, like a little bit sore, right? A little bit tender. So this is a very important energy point called the merging valley. It's very well known for uh, reducing high blood pressure as well as eliminating pain. All right, so you want to learn about this. Now, the next one you want to learn about is as you travel up this energy line, you get to the bend, right? This right here. So this energy point is called the pan at the bend. So you just press down, and then you just come up to the shoulder. You come back down 4 fingers, and just right here, all right? So, all right, now let's do on the right hand. I can identify this edge, identify this line, put the line on top of the edge, roll, press in the thumb, and then after you press in, lean towards the index finger, right? And then lean towards the finger. And then move up to here, press down, come back down to the top, and then press this, all right? Okay, all right, so after that, we're going to do some scraping, all right? Now, when we scrape, we have to have a scraping tool. You can have something that looks like this, or just get a plastic ruler that looks like this. This actually is something they gave me for free. It opens up, you put your iPhone on it, which I don't use, but it's also a good scraping tool. Or you got one built into your knuckle, all right? So when you scrape, we remember now we're going to scrape from the elbow to the wrist. And we're going to scrape these energy lines. There's 6 on the inside, 3 on the inside, 3 on the outside, right? So the one in the middle is the energy line that we name after the pericardium, which is the muscle around the heart. That's the heart, right? So we're going to scrape, use your knuckle. If it hurts a little, it's okay. You will find that after you scrape for a while, it doesn't hurt anymore, okay? And then go down in the middle. And when you reach the part where it's like the way you wear your watch, okay, you do a little bit more. That's an important energy point. Then you get to your wrist, and then you come back using your knuckle now, okay, and get to the elbow. All right, so that's the center line. Then you see the bone here. Okay, on one side of the bone, and then on the other side of the bone. On one side of the bone is the energy line that we name after the lung. So again, you start with the elbow, you get down to the wrist, you come back to the elbow. Now, when we talk about the 12 energy lines, there's also a cross flow, right? That's why they call meridian, right? It's like the earth, one goes this way, one goes that way. So there's actually energy flow. And so you scrape on the bone and you feel if there's any kink, right? Sometimes when your energy is blocked, you feel like there's some kinks. And so if when that happens, you're going to scrape some more, all right? Okay, so now on the other side of the bone, again from the elbow to the wrist. And then in the center is what we call the triple warmer, which is a mistranslation. It's actually even misunderstanding, even from the Chinese standpoint, because when they word the word, they use the word that meant focus. So when they translate that, they say warmer. In fact, that's not what it meant. It meant membrane. The three sections of your internals that are separated into the upper above the membrane, the lower, which is below the barrel button, and then in the middle. So this energy line is actually quite important. It's the balance in all your internals. And so later on, when we do the Jing, you notice that when we push like this, that's stretching this part. I'll remind you when we get there, okay? This is actually a very important energy line. Now we're going to say scrape the back of your hand, scrape the fingers, scrape the thumb back to the back of the hand, and then scrape the top and rotate the hand so one side of the bone on top of the bone, the other side of the bone, the middle, and then most importantly now get to the mental side of your heart energy line, starting at the wrist. Okay, so scrape about 2 or 3 inches here. This would help you sleep, get a much better sleep at night, and then stretch out and get to here at the elbow. Now, later on when we actually not this week, but every other weeks, we're going to talk about this importance of this part. This is the heart energy line. Okay. Now, all right. Come back to here at the elbow in the middle, the wrist. Come back, and then one side of the bone, and then along the bone, the other side of the bone, and then the center, the back of the hand, the fingers, back of the hand, stretching, and then rotate the hands inside, okay, and then the mental side. All right, okay, so if you have carpal tunnel, um, Sarah, I'm not going to be able to remember everything here because as soon as I'm done with this class, I'm on to another one. So join a circle. It's called mindfulness fellowship, and then ask the same question there. Just remind me, okay? All right, I'm getting old. I can't I can't juggle everything like that. But I will definitely try to find that post for you where they talk about fascia and fascia massage. Okay, it's just a Western scientific understanding of what we're talking about. I will definitely do that for you. But remind me because I'm not going to be able to remember. So this set exercise is very important when you have carpal tunnel, right? Everybody has carpal tunnel now because we spend so much time on the mouse, on the fingers, right? So you want to do that because the other thing you can do is you're gonna have to start taking some pain medicine because otherwise it's you can't get a good night's sleep in the middle of the night. The whole hand is warm and just really bad feeling. So you do what you must. So if you have pain, you want to get a good night's sleep, you got to take some pain medicine at least reduce inflammation. But keep in mind that everything you take into your body that is foreign, that is not natural, will have side effect. And so pain medicine tend to hurt your kidney. And so when we talk about mindful aging, what we want to do is live, maintain a quality of life. You want to be thinking about that long-term effect of taking, too much medication, even off the shelf. All right. So in my case, I used to have to take a lot of pain medicine because I just spent so much time working on computers and mouse and keyboards and all that. And as you get older, you start to have this pain. And then once I learned this technique, I haven't taken any pain medicine in a long time now. It takes a lot more work. It takes a lot more work, right? Just no. But on the other hand, when you're watching TV, when you're just resting, that's not so hard. That's not so hard. You just kind of do this, right? And sometimes I just do something like this, and it's painful, but but it's temporary pain, but it's more physical pain like that. But it removes it. Now, the Western science start to understand the purpose of scraping, and they talk about how maybe there's something going on right under the skin, and when you do that, it releases something, 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 which is fine. Okay, all right. So now we're going to continue. You notice that we are working from the extremities and we move up to the body, right? So now we're going to continue. So I want you to come back to your body, stretch your spine, open your shoulder, lean back, and then relax. Then I want you to point all fingers towards the camera. I want you to roll up the four fingers. I want you to hold down the four fingers. The four fingers are the springs, right? And I want you to hold down the springs. I want you to lock your elbow. I want you to wind up the springs, but don't let it go yet. Well, just wind it up, but hold it down and get ready. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 9, and 10. And then come back. Open the shoulder, relax the shoulder. There's two energy point here. It's part of the lung that is called the gate to the cloud. I want you to form what's called the lotus hand, putting the middle fingers and the thumb together, squeeze them, and then take the other three fingers and stretch them. And then take this lotus hand and put it on the gate to the cloud. I want you to open the shoulder again, stretch your spine, back of the hand facing the camera. Get ready. One, back of the hand facing the camera, come back, lotus hand, right? Pushing the middle fingers and the thumb, stretching the other fingers, put that on your gate to the cloud. Open the shoulder again, back of the hand facing the camera, get ready. Two, back, three, back, four, back, five, six, seven, eight, 9, and 10. Okay? So Western science, I used to be a scientist, right? Even though I was not a medical scientist, I was engineer. I taught engineering university. I do a lot of research in my professional field. So the Western science doesn't. So most people think that Western science, that's just true. That's how we discover the truth. Actually, we don't discover truths. We discover temporary truth. We discover temporary truth. You say, what does that mean? It remind me of a little bit about our presidential election right now. You can say all kinds of crazy things as long as you get on the press. It's okay. Well, when you're a scientist living in the Western world, it's important that you publish something that is true at the moment. You cannot publish falsehood, but it has to be true. With the understanding that it's true at the moment. It's as if Newton discovered gravitation. It's true, but only true at the moment. Because someone else is coming along. Einstein comes along and says, no, gravitational is not a force, it's a distortion of our time space continuum. That's very cool, right? So he basically overturned what Newton's understanding, which is fine. That's in fact how we got famous. So when we are for promotion, they don't know anything about what we do. Everybody has specialties. All they can do is say, well, you just publish an article. How many other people reference that article? The more people who reference your article, it must mean that you're more famous in your field, even though you publish crap. It's kind of crazy. And I live in that environment for 9 years. It's wonderful. So if you think about our Western medicine, it's always about people discovering falsehoods, right? So I mentioned pain medicine. So pain medicine is a wonderful thing. until someone discovers the side effect, and then they're going to give you something else. And so they're not responsible for anything. You are responsible, right? So you need to think about, where does the pain come from? I'll take the pain medicine so that I can go to sleep, but I want to know where the pain comes from. So in this class, we said pain comes from inflammation in your body. Inflammation comes from blockage of your chi. You said, where is the scientific evidence of that? I said, well, there's some, but not all. It will come. But this is the ancient wisdom for thousands of years. It's also scientific. It's just not experimental science. It's experiential science. It's experience that are passed on from one generation to the other. The Western science will eventually catch up. So continue that thought. We're going to be working on energy lines that rises into the top of the head. There's two very important energy lines that rises to the top of your head. One we name after the bladder, the other one we name after the gallbladder. So I want you to learn to massage the neck to release the blockage of chi. And so I want you to take the fingers, lock it, put that in the back of your head, sit up straight, looking straight ahead. And then I want you to take the thumb and just feel both the left and the right side of your neck until you find this cavity. So this cavity is also called a pond. It's also named with a pond. Remember, we had a pond on the vent. Now we have a pond of wind. Now the Chinese, when they talk about wind, they're talking about something that you cannot see, cannot taste, you cannot smell, you can only feel. So in the modern world, that's the nerve. That's that's your neurological system. So I want you to use your thumb and push down on this tooth cavity, all right? And then I want you to lean back your neck, and I want you to hold that and focus on that feeling of numbness, tenderness, and as if you're squeezing the water hose, increasing the pressure. And then I want you to relax, let it go. Then I want you to take the right thumb, put that on the left side, press down with the four fingers. And then I want you to grab the left side of the neck and pull it onto the right side. Then I want you to do the same thing on the other side. Press down on the right side, lean back your neck, and then pull the right side onto the left. Let's see if you open the channel. Then I want you to take the right hand, put that under your ear, and then I want you to massage your neck, the part is below the skull. And then do the same thing on the other side. Massage, massage, massage. Now I want you to take your right hand, put that on top of the ear and massage, but you feel the skull this time. And you need to tell yourself, you need to whisper to yourself as you do that. You need to say, relax, relax, relax. Now I want you to take two hands, and this time use your thumb to massage the cavity. Then I want you to use your thumb, move towards the ear in the middle, and now massage on top of the skull. And if you have problem falling asleep or getting a high quality sleep, you need to massage these two energy points. Then I want you to use one hand, thumb on one side, fingers on the other, and do a massage by squeezing the neck like this. Okay? And then move down the neck until you get to about middle. There's two more energy points here, and just kind of squeeze that. You notice the way I ask you to squeeze is all the places that a little bit sore. Okay? And then now I want you to continue down, but I want you to put your hands inside your clothes, but I do that on the outside just to show you. And you come down here and you kind of squeeze that together like this. Now these two energy points is called the door of wind, but we'll come back to that. All right. Now I want you to take your right hand and just kind of scrape the side of your neck from the ear down to the shoulder. Then I want you to massage the top of the shoulder. There's a cavity there called the well of shoulder. Then I want you to reach back to where I said was the door. and reach over, and then there's another cavity. Then I want you to massage. Okay, now I want you to do the other side. Oh, scrape the neck first, and then massage, and then reach back, and then on the side. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're done with the neck. Okay. Now, massaging the neck and the shoulder is very important if you have high blood pressure. Okay, one of the reasons that you have high blood pressure, which is a symptom, is that you're not getting enough energy into your head. And so the heart will compensate by increasing the blood pressure. But then the Western doctors subscribe high blood pressure to knock down your high blood pressure. So now you're getting even less circulation to your head. And the first thing you notice is that your neck really hurts and you need to compensate for that. All right. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. Good, Sharon. Sharon says, amazing. Great technique for me to ease migraines. Thank you. All right. So, we're going to continue to work. All right. So, we're going to continue to work to the top of the head. So, I want you to come back to the palm and then first identify the center of the palm. Now, the center of the palm is a very important energy point. This is part of the pericardium, but it's the only energy points in your entire body that can actually put out energy. All right. So we put that together, we locate it, and then we kind of rub the hand. And again, we're going to massage the face from the forehead to the chin. We're going to massage the side of the face, massage the temple. Now we're going to massage the forehead, but starting where the eyebrow is, and then move up to the where the hairline is. Now I want you to massage the top of the head, understanding that this is the part of the brain that is responsible for all your analytics and your cognitive functions. Then I want you to move back to the back of the head. This is the part that is responsible for all your memory. And then the lower part of your brain is the motor functions, and then the neck, okay? And then the top of the ears, and then back to the face again. Now, the reason I mention all that, the functions of the brain, is I want you to be grateful to your body, right? I want you to be grateful to your body. It's only when you're grateful to someone, you show the loving kindness to someone, that they can give you back the love that you so desire. This is true even with your own body. Think of your body just a vehicle. You need to be kind to it. You need to be your own whisperer, right? So you notice I always said that, that's your part of the brain because you really want it to continue to be your partner, your traveling partner. All right. So now we're going to massage the face. We're going to massage the face. And this is all the yang energy come together here. Now we're gonna massage around the eye. There's three energy point on top, three energy on the bottom. So we're going to start with the beginning of the eyebrow. I want you to take the index finger, put that at the beginning of the eyebrow. Now, after you do this for a while, you notice that there's a cavity. So that's where we want. And so I want you to push it with your index finger. You need to use the neck muscle a little bit. Hold the pressure. Okay. And then now I want you to put the index finger in between the eyebrow and you squeeze the eyebrow, all three energy points. You squeeze like you're squeezing toothpaste. All right. Now, this also does something else. It opens up the oil vessel, right? As we get old, our eyes get very dry, right? And when your eye is dry, it's very painful. It's like you have sands inside, right? Because it's not lubricating the eye. And and the reason your eyes are dry is not because you don't have enough tears. You can put as much artificial tears as you want. It only helps you temporarily. The reason your eyes are dry is because all the oil vessel are blocked. Okay, and so when you don't have enough oil on top of the eye, the the tears get exposed and they evaporate. Okay, so this actually this not only work on the energy point, but it also clear your oil vessel. All right, Now we're going to do the same thing below the below the eye back, starting at the corner to the tail. Massage, 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 massage. All right. Now, so everyone, I'm my own best sample of what I do, right? I sleep well. Why do I sleep well? Because I know how to relax myself and know how when I go to sleep, I treat it as a meditation. I stretch my body. I focus on my breath, one breath at a time, and that is to reduce my cortisol level. And when I reduce my cortisol level, then I give my body to have a chance to release melatonin, and so that's why I can go to sleep and I get a very good night's sleep. And then when the alarm clock rang, I set it to snooze for 9 minutes. That's how the iPhone does it. And during that 9 minutes, I start to open up my eyes and reverse the process so I can bring out my cortisol level to bring down the melatonin so I can wake up and nice and fresh. So that's how you get a good night's sleep. How do you get fresh skin like this? You want collagens under the skin. And if you have too much cortisol in the body, you're under stress all the time. If you don't know how to bring it back into the rest and digest, then the cortisol also destroys the cortisol, the collagen. And so this simple exercise that we do, you need to do it with your mind. You need to say, relax, relax, relax. Okay? All right. Well, everything is with the mind. Relax, relax, like that. Okay? Very important. Okay? I don't put any makeup on. All right. So now we have one last energy points around the eye, which is very important. We call that the bright eye. Okay. Now, so you use the thumb, you identify the corner of your eye, you move up slightly, and you find your eye socket, right? Now, if you're sensitive, and you can actually locate a like a little dumbbell in there, and so we can just kind of put some pressure on that, hold it, and now we're gonna do some eye exercise, eye yoga. And as we get old, one of the things that happens is that we get lazy eye. The muscles around our eye is not as good as it used to be. So we close your eye, we rotate our eyeball so we're looking straight up into the ceiling. It's important that you look very far, even though you close your eye, as far as you can. Focus as far as you can. Now we're going to rotate the eyeball to the right as if you're looking all the way across the room. Close your eye, okay? Then we're going to look down as if you're looking at the floor. Then we're going to look at the left. Then we're back to the up, right, down, left, up, right, down, left, back to up. We're going to do that counterclockwise. Rotate it to left, look as far as you can, down, right, up, left, down, right, up. One last time. Left, down, right, up. Okay, now hold the pressure and then release the pressure, open the eyes. Very bright, huh? Very bright. Okay. All right, so we're gonna continue to work on our skin, starting at the corner. Again, ask yourself to relax as you come down to the corner and move to the chin. Second time, third time, and then now we're gonna take a thumb. We're gonna move down from the eyeball until you get to the cheekbone, and then you're gonna press that a little bit. That also help you sleep. Okay, now we're going to take the index finger, put that outside the nostril. This is the energy point called welcome fragrance. This is important for your sinus. Then we're going to take four fingers and put it right here. This is actually where your body senses your oxygen level in your blood to know if you have enough blood to your brain, and then if it doesn't, it would increase your high blood pressure. This is actually part of the Western understanding. But in the Eastern understanding, they also think that this is an important energy point for high blood pressure. All right, so now we're going to move to another two extremities, which is the ear. And we're going to separate the ear to three parts. First, the upper part, we're going to put the thumb inside and we're going to massage the ear. Then we put the thumb in the middle, massage the ear. Then we put the index finger in the bottom, put the thumb in the back, massage. Leave the thumb behind your ear. Take the index finger, put that outside of your ear, and then massage. Then we're going to massage the tip of the ear and we're going to pull it like 45 degrees. Then we're going to massage the rim, then the ear loop. All right. Then we're going to massage the back of the ear, which is another energy area that is important for high blood pressure. You notice that your ear folds in like this. Just massage that part from the top to the bottom. Then I'm going to take two fingers, put that behind, one on the ear, one at the bottom, and just kind of massage like this from the top to the bottom. And then same thing on the other side, massage, and then two fingers, massage. And then if you're doing this for the first time, you all of a sudden you feel a lot of warmth in your body, right? Okay. All right. So we're gonna do one last thing with the ear called drumming the ear. We're gonna take the hand, put that behind, stretch, close the ear, and then release. Second time, release. Third time, release. Okay. All right. We're done with the ears. Now we're gonna go to the top. Okay. All right. Stretch, open, lean back, and then relax. We're going to take 10 to now. And then also lean back the forehead so ears on top of the shoulder, tuck in your chin. So this energy point called 100 meters is where all the yang energy comes together, is now on top of your spine, on top of your central nervous system. Then we take 10 fingers. We're going to do some tapping. All right. 30 times. Okay, now we're gonna comb our hair, but we comb with the tip of the finger, not with the fingernails. Four fingers in the forehead, one finger's on top of the ear, and just kind of massage your skull all the way down. Once again, be mindful of the part of the brain and its function and its contribution to your health, and be very grateful to your body, including the brain. Okay, you need your brain every step until the very end. All right, and now we're going to put all fingers on top of the ear. Do the same thing. All right, now we're going to move towards the bottom of your feet. All right, so we're going to tap. We're going to continue to tap, and this time we're going to tap on the shoulder. So once again, identify this energy point here called the well on the shoulder, and then identify this energy point here called the gate of the cloud. This is part of the gallbladder energy line. This is part of the lung energy line. So once again, I want you to stretch, open, lean back, relax. Take your right hand, forming an empty hand, like you're drinking water. So you need to tap it with acoustics, huh? So you put your hands so the fingers on top, the palm of the hand is in the front. You sit up straight, you turn your head to the right, you listen with your left ear. Get ready? Wake up. Continue. And then the other side. Stretch, open, relax. Left hand, empty hand. Turn to the left, right ear. Listen. Wake up. Continue. Okay. All right. So now we're going to move. Remember, I talked about the thumb being the beginning of the lung energy line. It travels and then it gets into here. Then the fingers is the heart, but it's actually the mind. It travels and then it get into the armpit. So this is an important energy point. And so, but that energy line, this is the important part. We need to do some stretching here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take your left elbow We're going to put that on top of the head. We're going to sit up straight, looking straight ahead. So we're stretching this part. Then we're going to take the hand and put it on the squeeze slightly on the right hand top part of your ear. Turn the head to the right. Listen with the left ear. Bring up your left hand, empty hand. Put that on the armpit. Get ready. Go. Continue. And then the other side, put the elbow on top, stretch, squeeze the left side, left hand, right shoulder, right armpit, right ear. Get ready. Wake up. Continue. Okay. Now, this particular energy point and this one, and then later on we're going to work on at the lower part. There are four energy points that have a name, and they call it eight cavities. And those are the parts that are closest to your internal organs. I remember one year, I might have talked about this before. One year, I was many years now, when my son was a teenager, we went to climb Mount Kilimanjaro in Kenya. It was so cold. It was so cold. And we're doing the last climb. And I asked my guy, I said, what's the temperature? He said, oh, it's minus 40. I said, is it Fahrenheit or Celsius? He said, well, minus 40, they're the same. It was so cold. The only way I could keep myself warm was like this. Put my hand inside like 5 layers of clothing just to warm myself up like that. This, and then tomorrow are the warmest part of your body. They're the closest to your internal organs. And so there's a technique called tapping the eight cavities. And they believe that those are the places that you need to keep, uh, make sure that the energies are not blocked, because those are the places where the, the, the negative energy would enter. So the Chinese understands virus as the negative energy. It has no life. It's just negative energy, right? So this one and this one. So one of the things I always said is that, after you take a shower, this is what I do. I take a blow dryer and I make sure that these eight energy points are dry, not wet. Okay. All right. So we move on to the next one. And this is another cavity. It's actually nice and warm, right? You notice that. So lock elbow, stretch your arm, put the palm on above, and then we're going to take our right hand, empty hand, but wrap it around. So there's three energy points, including the side. Listen with the left ear. Wake up. The empty hand. Get remember now, huh? Continue. And then the other side, lock elbow, left hand, empty hand, right ear. Listen. Wake up. Continue. Okay, so we're going to continue to the lower part of our body, right? So far, we only work on just three energy lines, which is the upper part of our body that has to do with our heart-lung combination. Now we're going to work on the lower part of the body. Is the bottom of your hand on your collarbone when you tap? You mean here? Well, the energy point is right below the collarbone. Yeah, so the center of the palm is right here. The fingers on top, right? Okay. All right, so we're going to work on the lower part of the body, which are the liver, the splint, and the kidney, and its yang counterpart. And so all of that is more like the metabolic, right? So we're going to work on the inside of your thigh first. Those two energy points are associated with the liver. And so get ready. Use empty fists so you're not holding it tight. Try not to beat your body into submission. And get ready. Go. Second one. And then close your knee. On the outside, on the yang side, that's knee map to gallbladder, same two energy point. And then now these two are known for reducing your chance of having a stroke. Okay, so above the knee, two energy points. Below the knee, same thing, three energy points. So first you need to locate that cavity right here below the bone. Get ready, go. In the middle. And further down. Now, further down, I want you to locate the outside of your angle, outside angle, not the inside, outside angle. Measure 4 fingers, right here. And now we're going to work on another yang energy line. And then locate your knee, 4 fingers, right? Bone slightly on the outside. Get ready, go. And then measure another 4 fingers, locate the bone slightly on the outside. Again, facing forward. Get ready, go. Okay, now we're going to work on another yang energy line that we name after the bladder. And it's in the lower part of your calf. Now, calf is very important. In the Western science, the calf is called the second heart. It's a healthy calf is also a deterrent for dementia. And it's also an energy point that is related to high blood pressure. So I want you to take at the bottom of your calf, put that on your right knee, and you feel that it's like very tender. And then I want you to tap that 30 times. And then the other way. Again, I want you to massage the calf. Make sure you have a healthy calf. Okay. And then I want you to take the right here, put that on your left knee. And then tap that 30 times. Okay, now many of you have lower back problem. In the Chinese medical perspective, the lower back is where the kidneys are. And so if you have kidney qi deficiency, that's the reason for the lower back problem. And this is one important energy point for that. there are more, but basically this is the yang side of the kidney qi, right? Okay. All right. So now we're ready to work on the toes, right? Right. We're working on so many things. Good thing. All right. So now we're going to work on the toes, and we're going to work on between the toes. This is actually where the kidney energy line starts. And then we move to the one at a time, right? One at a time. So we have 6 energy lines originating from the feet. 5 of them are coming from the toes. So in between, you feel a little bit sore like this. Okay. And then the most important one is the one between the big toe and the second toe. And you notice that there's a symmetry between what's between your thumb and your index finger and what's between your big toe and the second toe. And both of these together, or 4, are important for high blood pressure. So we're going to do some acupressure. First energy point is where the toe meets. The second energy point is when the bone eventually meets. Okay, and then we flip it over, we bent the toe back, and you see this tendon. Right below that is the liver energy line. This is called a longevity tendon. So we're going to scrape that using a scraping tool. And when we're done with scraping the longevity tendon, we're going to scrape the bottom of our feet. We're going to scrape the knee, the heel, back to the bottom feet, scrape the ball area. And now we're going to massage the toes. Then we're going to scrape a very important part, which is the arch. It's okay. So the question is, how important is the number when you say 30 times? I usually cannot keep count. Me neither. I don't think I actually do it exactly 30 times. Okay. Now, when you scrape the arch, keep in mind that there's 2 energy lines that goes through the arch. So one is right below the bone area. So you scrape that a little bit more. And the other part is right below the angle. So you scrape that a little bit more. And then right behind the angle, you must do some acupressure. And then right above the angle, measure 4 fingers below the bone. Another important energy point. And then you locate the bone and you scrape. Now, this energy line is very important. This is energy line that we name after the splint, which is the earth element. So imagine that how important the soil is for life, right? So one of the things that happens when you have splint deficiency is that you start to retain water. And there's been a study now that obesity is often associated with dementia, but it's not just obesity as in BMI, it's actually swelling of your body. Because the splint energy line is also part of the lymph node. And so when you have swelling, it's because water cannot be returned through the lymph node. And lymph node is important for many, many things, as you know. Okay, so one last thing we're going to do, very important, is the bottom of your feet. So we're going to do some acupressure here. Very important. And then we're going to tap the bottom of the feet. And so you bend your fingers back. This is about the center. This is the energy point you want. This is water. Then you take your old friend, the center of your palm, you put that together. So now you mix what's mixing water and fire. This is an old technique, come from the Tang Dynasty, from a very famous Chinese medical doctor. He actually wrote that up when he was 120 years old. Get ready? Go. Continue. Okay, so now quickly on the other side. Massage in between the toes. And then back. And focus on between the big toes and the second toe. and then press down on two energy points where the bottom of the two toes, and then follow until before the bone merge together. Turn your feet upside down, bend back the big toe, scrape the tendon, the longevity tendon, scrape the bottom of your feet, scrape the heel, scrape the ball area, massage the toes, scrape the arch, especially 2 inches from that bone area, and then right below the angle. Then do some acupressure behind the angle. Do some acupressure 4 fingers above the angle behind the bone, and then scrape behind the bone. Make sure that this is something you want to do. If you have swelling, how do you know you have swelling? You put your thumb on it, you let go, and it doesn't come back. Well, then you got a problem. And then finally, do some acupressure on this energy point called gushing spring. And one last time. And then we're going to tap that 30 times. Continue. Okay, all right, so we're gonna go to the floor now, and we're gonna very quickly do our QiGong exercise today called the Jing. So in a way, all we have done for almost hour and a half is to clear all our energy channel, or 12 of them, 6 of them from our fingers, 6 of them from our toes. They all meet at the top, or the yang energy meets on the top, right? So we did all that, the ears and everything. And so now we're going to be ready to do this Qigong exercise. And each form addresses one particular element. And the first one is called spirit boosting palm. And I'm going to do a little bit of explanation today to make sure that you understand how to do it right. First, we're going to focus on the bottom of your feet. Remember, we talked about that being the gushing spring. That's the beginning of your kidney energy. Kidney is water. That is the prerequisite of life. Then we're going to turn our toes inward, and then we're going to loosen up a knee. So we're not locking a knee. We're going to loosen a knee so we can activate the calf, right? Okay. So that together is the kidney chi. Now, the bottom of the feet is called the gushing spring. So imagine all the energy from the universe is rushing through your body from the earth, as if that is the beginning of the spring water. The top of your shoulder is called the well on the shoulder. So what you want to do is you want to stretch your spine, open the shoulder, relax, as if you are aligning that well with the spring origin, so that energy can come right up to the top. Okay? Now, we talk about the top of the head being the 100 meat where all the yang energy come together. There's a counterpart where all the yin energy come together, which is at the very bottom of your upper torso, right between your reproductive organ and the opening of your bowel. That's called the yin meat. I want you to imagine forming a straight line between these two energy points by opening your shoulder, relax, lean back the forehead so the ears on top of the shoulder, tuck in your chin. So you have a straight line. Then I want you to take the palm, the center of the palm is pointing down, but I want you to locate the palm right next to that straight line. So when you send a shot wave, you're sending it through that straight line. Okay? All right, get ready. I want you to focus entirely on the center of your palm. I want you to listen very carefully. So when I say go, you don't listen to me. You don't go. Instead, you check to see, to make sure that your mind is on the center of your palm, body, mind together, and then you push. You ready? Go. Sending that shockwave all the way to top of the head. Now, it's very important that after you do one energetic exercise, you spend equal time on the restorative, because the energetic side is to send the stress hormone into your body, the cortisol or the steroid, or another a form of steroid, to basically reduce inflammation in your body. But now you want to spend equal time on the restorative to make sure that you restore the sensitivity of the steroid. So on the energetic, you enter into the fight or flight. On the restorative, you enter into the rest and digest. As you focus on your breathing, I want you to take special focus, special attention to the inside your mouth. And if you're truly in the rest and digest, the saliva gland will be turned back on. So you can actually feel the wetness inside your mouth. But if you cannot relax, or you don't relax properly, the mouth will be very dry, because the fight or flight will turn off your saliva gland. Second time, get ready, open your shoulder, don't look down, okay? Don't dip your head. Make sure the top of the head is on top of your central nervous system and you're sending a shock wave. Get ready, go. And then back to the restorative, focus entirely on your breathing, one breath at a time. I know I'm breathing in, I know I'm breathing out. And then second breath, same thing. Check the inside your mouth, close your mouth. One last time, get ready, go. And then relax, completely relax. Now, this next one is called pointing the one tail. Pointing means the same word that we use for the thumb. So you take your thumb, you point it to here. This is the one tail energy point. You don't need to touch, you just need to form the energy loop. Then you take your four fingers, you roll up your four fingers. Imagine putting 2 buckets of water on your thumb and you lift up those 2 buckets of water as hard as you can. You're energizing the large intestine. You're doing what modern people call detox. Then you relax your fingers, you don't lower the hand, you continue to form the energy loop. You focus on your breath. After 2 breaths, second time, lift up your thumb, bend it as hard as you can, and then relax. Focus on your breath. Check the inside your mouth. One last time. And then lower your hand, completely relax, focusing on your breath. The third one is called beginner's mind. This is what the baby does inside the mother's womb, energizing your mind and your heart by putting the thumb across, roll up your fingers, and squeeze your fist as hard as you can. And then open up your palm without lowering your hand, focusing on your breath. Second time. And then focusing on your breath, one breath at a time. One last time. And then lower your hand, completely relax. Again, check the inside your mouth. After 2 breaths, we're going to take a deep breath by putting the fist together. Put that below your belly button. And as you breathe in, you raise your fists. You lift up your body until you get to your nose. Then you bring your elbow together. You focus on your back and you open up your back. You open up your back like this. And then relax back to the breathing. As if, so second time now, as if you're wearing a sweater too small in size and you just want to stretch that sweater and then relax. One last time and then relax. The next one is called fist above the head. So you open your shoulder, you bring your fist above your head, you open your fingers. Now you're doing something very cardio. You actually working your heart by squeezing the bloods into your heart. So you do that by rolling your fist, one joint, two joint, lock your fist, and you squeeze as hard as you can. Then you let go, you open your fingers, let the blood come back to the fingers. Second time, squeeze as hard as you can and then relax. One last time, squeeze as hard as you can and then relax. Back to the breathing, very important, okay? All right, so now this one is called stabbing the shoulder. You open your shoulder. It's as if you grab two daggers. You point your daggers on your shoulder. Now, your focus should be on the back of your neck where we were doing the massage called the Prana Chi. And when you stab your shoulder, you do that by opening your shoulder and by pointing the dagger on your shoulder. And when you stab, you feel the tightness in the back of your head. You maintain that tightness. And then you relax. Let the energy flow back into the top of the head. Focus on your breath. Second time, open the shoulder, point the dagger, stab your shoulder, and then relax. One last time, stab, and then relax. Next one's called the cross. You open like this. Imagine you have two trees on side. You rotate your wrist, you roll your fist, you take a deep breath, and you push as hard as you can, stretching the upper part of your arm, the triple warmer, and then you're back to breathing. Second time. And you push and relax. One last time. And you push and then you relax. Next one is called front hanging. So you make sure you lock your elbow as if you're hanging close on your arm. Same thing, rotate your wrist, roll up your fist, take a deep breath. Imagine you have a tree in front and you push and then relax. Second time. And you push and then you relax. Focusing on your breathing, check the inside your mouth. One last time. And you push and then you relax. Okay, now continue. Open your shoulder. Look up, see the bar, grab the bar. You do chin up. This is about maintaining your muscle. Okay, muscle health is very important. So you pull yourself up, all 175 pounds, and then you relax. Second time. And then you relax. One last time. And then you relax. Okay, now the next one I call ripping the yellow page. So you grab the yellow page, half on one side, half on the other, and you rip the sucker open, and then you relax. And you rip the sucker open, and then you relax. Check the inside of your mouth. And one last time, rip, and then relax. So you notice that we have done three things, right? We're doing some stretching, but mainly stretching the fascia. We also did some cardio, and we also did some muscle. And now we're ready to swallow. Take out your tiger, swallow to the dantian. Swallow. Back of the hand touching, straight up, loosening up your knee. Don't stand up, okay? And we go straight down. Don't stand up, okay? Don't allow your knee. Looking straight down. Back of the hand touching. Squeeze. Relax. Squeeze. Relax. Squeeze. Relax. Flip your hand. Focus on the center of the palm. Make sure that your knees are not locked. You're not standing straight up like this. You're just bending your knee. You take a deep breath. Breathe out. Breathe in. And you push. And then you breathe in. And you breathe out. Okay. Now we're going to go back. It's very important that we meditate after we do energetic exercise. Okay. I have nothing against weightlifting. I have nothing against running a marathon. I just want you to know that after you do all that energetic exercise, you need to restore the balance by meditating. And so today I'm going to talk about the same technique that we've been practicing called the Wandering Dragon Chasing the Pearl, with a particular emphasis on the membrane. I'm going to talk about the membrane being an important conduit for the life energy, membranes in the body, membranes between the organ. I mentioned two very important membranes. One is the diaphragm, one is between your left brain and the right brain. First, we want to open the diaphragm. And we do that by sitting up properly, stretch your spine, open the shoulder, lean back, relax, lean back the forehead, tuck in the chin. Close your eyelid, and then put the tip of the tongue behind the teeth, where the teeth meets the roof of your mouth. Close your mouth. Then I want you to focus on your belly button. As soon as you know that you're breathing in, I want you to take the belly button and bring it across the room. As soon as you know that you're breathing out, I want you to bring that belly button back as you're bringing it to your back. Breathe in, forward, open your stomach, lower your diaphragm. Breathe out, bring back your belly button, collapse the stomach, pushing up the diaphragm. Let's sit for 3 minutes. This is the exercise, the diaphragm. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to continue. We're going to move from the diaphragm, which is a very important connective tissue, to the membrane that separates a left brain from the right brain, which is very important for cognitive health. We're going to do that by letting go of your belly button, but continue to sense your body as you breathe in. You notice that when you breathe in, the stomach actually opens on its own because the diaphragm naturally would have to go down to make room for the air that you're breathing in. You notice that when you breathe out, the stomach naturally would collapse because it has to do the opposite by pushing out the stale air. I want you to let go of that. Just feel it. But now I want you to focus on the lower part of your spine. As you breathe in, the stomach opens. I want you to move up the spine, walk up the spine towards the top of the head. Feel your body as you go up. Feel your spine as you go up. Stretch the spine. When you get to the top of the head and you start to breathe out, I want you to come back from the front, from the forehead, through the bridge of your nose, through the tip of your nose, through your tongue, and as you come down towards your belly button, I want you to lean back and relax. Breathe in, move up to the top of the head, stretch your spine. Breathe out, come back from the front, lean back, and relax. We're going to sit for 3 minutes. Okay. All right. Thank you for staying with me. We're a little bit over time, but it's important that we do a prayer. Also, we always do. It's the prayer that I like. It's called the what is it called? It's called the Serenity Prayer. Before we do that, I want you to think about the last time you went to Costco or Walmart or whatever, and you have your grocery in your basket and you're getting ready to pay for it. Next time when you do that, I want you to look around and see what food do people buy. When I go to Costco and look around, I see people with cart full of boxes, cardboards. Everything they buy are processed food. They bring home, they open the box, they throw that in the recycling bin. They take the what is called food, push it in the microwave, go ding, and that's what they eat. We know that's not good for us, right? We know processed food is not good for us, but it tastes good. It's fast, it's easy, and it doesn't cost all that much. It is engineered to make us feel good. It's psychedelic. On the other hand, you look at the guy next to you, like me, who has fresh vegetables, eggs, meats, and you know the guy has to spend the next hour to prepare food, wash it, cut it, marinate it, cook it, and eat it. You know that's good. That's good for your health, but it takes so much work. It takes so much work, but it's a choice, right? We all make choices. So we talk about aging here, and we talk about mindful aging, and it basically requires five things. You need to eat mindfully, be aware of what you eat, right? When you eat, and where you eat. You need to drink mindfully. You got to figure out what you are consuming liquid wise, something you don't want to drink, and something you want to drink more of. You want to work mindfully. You want to rest mindfully. And you want to deal with your emotion mindfully. This is the most important. So we have less than 2 months before a very important, very consequential presidential elections. And yesterday, my wife said, "Oh, the Pope came out and says we need to choose the less of the two evil." And I was very offended. I was very offended. No matter which side you choose, we never call the other side evil. We don't call the other side evil. There's no evil here. It's just that they are peddling different thing for you to consume. It's just like one side is the processed food and the other side is the whole food. And you can choose. One side peddle fear and the other side peddle joy. I don't particularly think that one is evil and one is less evil. I think it's a free choice. You can choose whatever you want, just like go to Costco. I don't look down on you just because you consume food in cardboards. I don't particularly think that I'm superior just because I have to go and peel the vegetables and whatever. It's a choice. But we know what's good for us. I don't think that fear is good for me. I think love and kindness is good for me. It's not the first time that we accuse immigrants of eating animals that should not be eaten. I live in San Francisco. Once upon a time, people discovered, oh, hey, what happened? There's no more geese flying in Golden Gate Park, let alone that maybe it's seasonal fowl and they just left. They don't care because it's at the same time we have a lot of Vietnamese immigrants that came into town. Oh yeah, they eat, you know, and it's the Chinese people who think that. It has nothing to do with skin color. You think the Chinese people are not prejudiced? They're the most prejudiced people in the world. It's fear. is fear of people who are different from you. I'm not saying that that's evil. That's a choice. I just don't like that choice. I don't want to live with fear because I want to age mindfully, and I'd rather live with loving kindness, compassion, empathy, and equanimity. That takes courage. That takes work. It's like going to Costco. That takes work. I want you to put your hands together if you wish. This symbolizes our awesome, awesome respect and gratitude to the positive energies in the world. I want you to focus on your eyelid and see the light in front of you. And in your own way, identify that light with the source of all positive energy. These positive energy are inside of us. They're like the sun shining on earth all the time. Even though we're covered with black cloud or that we are turned our back towards the sun is always there. Just like these positive energies are always shining upon us. But it takes a lot of courage to put aside our fear, our anger, our jealousy, and our violence to embrace that positive energy. I'm forever grateful for her grace. I asked only for the courage to continue my path of loving kindness and compassion, to change what I can change, especially to change myself so I can embrace that positive energy. I asked only for the serenity to accept that there's limitations to what I can do, even to myself. I asked for her grace. I asked for the wisdom to know the difference, to make a choice that I know is good for me, good for my family, but at the same time, respect the choice that other people make, even though it's not the one I want to make. Namaste. Okay, see you all next week. I agree with that, Catherine. I agree with that. Catherine said something very wise. She said, I believe the Pope used a common expression having an emphasis that there are problems with both candidates. So in that sense, he said, choose to want the less evil. I don't actually think that he makes a judgment neither. And I agree with that and I respect him for that. I only use it for my purpose. Okay. I hope that's okay with everyone. I respect everyone's choice. That's why we live in the place that we live. It's all about freedom. It's all about making your own choice. Not only material choice in terms of what we consume as a consumer, but more to the point is what we do here is making a choice spiritually. Okay? All right. Thank you so much. See you all next week. 星期一見，多謝大家。OK，拜拜，拜拜，拜拜，拜拜。Okay, thanks everyone. Thanks for all the donations. Love you all. Okay, bye bye.